lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
And today we're going to be talking about Avengelyne #1. This amazing hollow foil cover, however you want to call it. This is so fucking sick. But before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and check out some of the other awesome content on the channel. We got a lot of dope stuff, including other 90s comics like this. Got a whole playlist. So check it out, hit that subscribe button, and now let's talk Avengelyne #1. Whole reason I decided to talk about this, was because of the announcement. It's been in my pile to read and talk about on the show, but I just kept doing other stuff. And then once that announcement was made, they're doing a Kickstarter for the Omnibus right now. I'm like, all right, it's time to fucking crack this bad boy open and talk about it. What's interesting is it's created by Rob Liefeld and Kathy Christian, who is basically the basis for the design, like why she looks the way she looks. And not the costume necessarily, but this is what Kathy Christian looks like. Stories by Rob Liefeld, script by Robert Napton, and pencilers John Stinsman, Jonathan Sibal, Danny Miki on inks. I really dug this comic book, dude.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's a product of its time, so it might not be for everybody.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed it, and it was a blind spot for me because I had, other than like Youngblood and Brigade and like Bloodstrike, I didn't check out too many of Rob's books back then because I was starting to fall out of comics. I was graduating high school and like getting a job and having to pay for my own car and all this kind of teenage shit. So comics kind of like fell off for a while. So I was aware of all the stuff he was doing outside of like the initial like stuff he produced for Image, but I never really read it. But I'm always surprised at how much stuff he created during that time.
It is pretty crazy, but this is also from his Maximum Press, which I believe was one of the issues that the Image founding fathers, the other Image partners had, was that Rob was now creating a different imprint somewhere else.
So he was still working with Image at this time?
Yes. He was still producing the Extreme line at Image, and he was doing, I believe he had this at Maximum Press. He also had War Child at Maximum Press. I think this is where he did his Battlestar Galactica book, was also through this. So he was doing different titles over there. Like, I believe they're still all connected in some way. This was also coming out at the same time. I mean, this is still, I believe this is 94. So he's still an Image.
Yeah.
I really dig this art too by Stinsman, dude. It's pretty fucking dope. Again, this was also a blind spot for me. I picked it up probably, oh man, dude, sometime during the pandemic, and it's just been sitting in that pile to be read. But I really dig the design of her. She's basically sent down from heaven.
Yeah.
Kind of in the way that basically a fallen angel. And she's going to take down demons, dude. I mean, it doesn't get much cooler than that.
Yeah,
I love
it. It's a simple story, but it's like, it's solid. It's really rooted in Christian mythology.
Yes.
Well, and like, Bible stories, and like I think a lot of the names are like accurate too. Like when we get to the demon names, I think those might be out of like some kind of biblical text. And Liefeld was really big on that, on using like his father had been I think preaches around a pastor, right?
Yeah.
So he grew up really being surrounded by the Bible and these Bible stories, and he used a lot of them in his storytelling, which I think is a very unique thing. That is something that makes Rob's stories cool.
Totally agree. Totally 100% agree with you on that. This also, what's interesting too, is I believe this is one of his best-selling books, Avengelyne, because this is also, I believe, if it's not right at the beginning of the bad girl craze in comic books, it's definitely shortly after it started. I mean, you had Lady Death coming out at this time. Rob did have Glory as well, that was being published through the Extreme line at Image. But Avengelyne is one of his best-selling comics, and it's pretty crazy that if that is the one that becomes adapted first, that'll be pretty interesting, considering that Prophet is also in development too. But I mean, look, he's got Margot Robbie behind it.
Yeah,
pretty fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, this is definitely a cinematic idea, and this could probably work really well as a movie.
I love the lettering too of her inner dialogue that she's talking about.
Yeah, it kind of has like a biblical script sort of feel to it, like
Yeah.
calligraphy almost.
Yeah, like at that moment, as I gazed upward, the wind surged and a thunderous bell resonated throughout the edifice. Like the trumpets of heaven, the sound stirred my being. I had found my sanctuary, a beautiful mansion within my father's house. Tiny flames danced in the distance, pure, forgiving. I mean, just the writing is really, I really dug the writing of this book.
Yeah, it's fun, and I love stories about like people like in a like being lost in like a like an environment like this. This is like seedy side of New York. Again, like things that you don't see too much anymore, like this sort of griminess of the
Hmm.
city.
Oh, yeah. And I love that, she wakes up. We got this pastor that's like, that, like, oh, let me help you and stuff. And he gives her his name, but she doesn't want to give him her name, which I think is kind of interesting. And so he just kind of accepts it. And what is he going to do? He's going to help her. I mean, look at that. I understand your pain. Every day I see the suffering caused by broken homes. Find solace in the Lord. He'll never abandon you. And it's funny because she kind of was abandoned, right? When she sent down.
Yeah,
See, there we go. This Battlestar Galactica was done through Maximum Press. And I mean, just like this interaction between her and the priest too, or priest or pastor. Is it priest?
I think. Well, he's
I
wearing
don't.
the collar. The collar makes me think he's a priest, but I don't think they mention whether they're a Catholic church or not.
Okay. But I think
It
it's
feels like it
interesting.
might be, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. What I think is funny too is, I know this sounds crazy, but I can feel it all your life. You've brought comfort to others, but no one has ever comforted you. That's right, isn't it? And she even says it. I've always been loved, but no one has ever comforted me in this way. No one but you. And then he comes out, Father Mallory comes out, dude. And I was like, oh, I was just coming to get you, dude. And he's like, why don't you start at the beginning? So he gives him the fucking lowdown. This is where we get into bad girl territory. So he fucking, lets her stay there. And what's interesting too is like, would we see this in a church? I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, it's definitely like trying to titillate and trying to
Yeah.
appeal to adolescent young men. But I mean that is a target audience for comic books, and there's nothing wrong with comics that were made for that audience.
No,
Like
no, no. I'm
comics.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
anything bad about it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just think
I know
it's
you're not. Yeah,
I just think it's funny that we're seeing that in a church, and like as she goes off to sleep,
yeah. It's
he's
definitely trying to be sexy, and that's kind of cool.
yeah. And then she's dreaming, and you just hear her name, Avengelyne, Avengelyne. This is a dope page. I fucking love this
Yes.
page.
Yeah, I love her with like the black leather and like
Yeah.
all like the beheading the
Fucking
demons in the
badass
background.
sword.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this whole page is badass. The coloring in it is great. I love all like the magentas and the purples and the red.
I'm still slaying demons in my father's name, and they keep coming and coming. It will never end, never. And then she gets woken up. I love that, dude. How it's like she's in this dream, right? And then the panel of her waking up, it's like her dreams being shattered as she awakens.
It's very impactful and like drops the colors, so it goes monochromatic. I also
Hmm.
love the image of the demon in the eyeball. I
Yeah,
love panels with eyes and like using the eye uh, as a reflective piece. It's something that you don't see enough of. It's very
yeah.
cinematic, and I think it really works, especially when you juxtapose these two panels down here together.
Oh,
Really good
dude, for
work right there.
sure. And now they're walking in the fucking garden, having a little conversation, and then we meet Mr. Belial. And this dude's he's evil. I mean, right
Yeah,
there.
well,
The red
Belial's a
eyes.
demonic name. I think. I think that's one of the ones. I think that is a demon from the Bible.
Yeah. I wonder if Helena is like his assistant. I wonder if that's a name from the Bible too. Or if that
I'm
just
not. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Belial, I know I've definitely heard like in movies and like other like stories that revolve around like hell and demonology and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that name is like an accurate.
I love how like she's a warrior, but you see how like intimidated she looks right here. Like she's definitely
Yeah,
like more reserved, and he's like, "Oh, who do we have here?" She's a new friend, someone we're helping along the way. And then this is Kathy Chris. She's
yeah,
the basis for this. I think it's cool, dude, that she like reached out to Rob, or I don't know exactly the story behind it. I'm sure he'll share it on Rob's Observations. I don't believe he has yet. Them coming together. I mean, she thanks him in this issue for being open to her ideas and like really involving her. See, here you go. Look,
yeah,
this is an ad for Image with Extreme. This Bad Rock fucking piece is sick.
yeah. That is a sick bad rock.
And now you can see a little bit of her, right? Like now she's a little more guarded. You can see her eyes
Yeah.
drop. She's like scowling a little bit because she can sense it. She can sense the evil in this dude.
And you know the dude's up to no good. He's got the red eyes and he's being
Mhm.
fucking super creepy with her, you know?
I love this. Avengelyne. No, you misunderstand. Not what your street friends call you, your real name. It is the name my father gave me. And she, he's like, he's trying to help her, man. He's like, okay, maybe Sister Janice might, house you at the convent. And just until we can find something permanent. And because she has nowhere to go. She's been abandoned. Where else would she turn but the church to kind of save her?
This shit I love, bro. I like,
Yeah.
you know me, man. Like I'm an old metalhead kid from back in the day. Like anything that's like demonic with skulls and chains and
Mhm.
like, is right up my alley. And this is straight up from
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
But this is why I thought like Helena, right, was maybe something from the Bible because like when they use their names, like they say it differently here, right? And like she's
Yeah, and they're
also
spelled like with the apostrophe or comma or whatever,
right.
which is also like a lot of demonic names had that kind of spelling.
I love this. We must test this girl to see if she's truly a fallen angel. Let me have the bitch.
Yeah. Belial's cool. I like his design.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. The fucking horns on him.
Smoke coming out of his mouth
Yeah,
and shit,
dude. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a fun book, dude. I backed the
This is a
Kickstarter, so
cool
I'm excited to check out the
the
rest
the
of this
omnibus.
series. Yeah, the omnibus.
I like this double page spread here too, with her in the middle.
Oh yeah, dude. I love the lighting that they use with the blinds
Yes, dude, with
closed,
the yeah.
and you
You got
just have this
like
orange
that.
overlay.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool. Yeah, these 2 pages are sick.
Yeah, this is awesome. The man in the garden today, there was a darkness about him. And then she hears the voice. I love the way they do the word balloons for like the demons when they're talking.
Like all craggly and shit.
Hmm. Orange and then black around it. It's pretty dope.
Oh, the next pages are pretty badass too, like her fucking whooping ass.
Hell yeah, dude. She fucking takes the sword. I love how she fucking like how quick she is. I'm assuming that's like, yeah, it's a trash can lid. She throws it, knocks the sword out of this dude's hand. I mean, just the way the action moves like that, and then she grabs it, and then this cuts the dude right in the head. So good.
Yeah, that panel of her holding the sword is badass.
Yeah. And what's interesting too is like she says, even without her gifts, you're no match for an angel. So, like, what other powers does she have? Because she seems like she still has something. She has some sort of abilities. She has been like in a sense like neutered in terms of like what her full powers will be. Ah, dude, how about that? Pulling the sword out of the head, the blood's
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
splurting out. And then here's Belial, dude. Oh man.
Just shows up, yeah. And he's no longer hiding who he is. You can tell he's speaking with his real voice.
Mhm.
And he knows who she is too.
Yeah, I mean, look, the legendary Avengelyne. What heinous crime did you commit to warrant exile on Earth?
I like her all bloodied up and stuff. The sword still
Yeah,
has
dude.
blood.
I know it makes me want to see like that. That's what really made me want to read more, passes. And if I didn't already order the omnibus, I probably would have ran and grabbed some of the singles and looked for them. But what a great introduction to the character. I always love these like heaven and hell stories. Like I love how they do it in Spawn. In a sense, Preacher, same way, but I mean not so much like hell, but it's like something it taught deals a lot with that with faith and stuff and religion. I dig the character, dude. And
I
again, like
want to check out more of the stuff that Rob did. Like I said, a lot of that era is a blind spot for me, and
yeah,
I
dude,
love Rob,
we
so I
should
want to check
definitely
it
check
out.
out more, dude. I mean, somebody
Yeah.
commented on our Bloodstrike issue, and they're like, "Oh, you guys should do issue 5 when Supreme." And there's just like a knockdown fight in that one.
Oh, dude, I'm down.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely want to check out more and throw some of those number ones. Like he talks about it here, dude. Like first came when he first set out to create Maximum Press, it was for the express interest of creating comics that were different from the standard superhero fare that was currently overpopulating the shelves. First came War Child, science fiction fantasy like no other, followed by Black Flag, a unique and offbeat approach to the popular team book formula, and now we have Avengelyne. So and he's working closely with her. And
Yeah.
she, has a little letter too thanking him. So I love when they do this kind of stuff. You get a little insight into like the creators and their thoughts and what they're hoping to accomplish with their books. But fun comic, definitely recommend picking it up. Yeah, there's only a couple days left of the Kickstarter, so if you have not checked this out before, I highly recommend heading over there. I'm going to drop the link down below, how to find it, and also while you're at it, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.
Get to next time, guys.